It's been uh, days, and I figure the best way to get it handled is not from a local lawyer, even though what I need is really simple, but to go for the biggest and the most capable, I'm assuming, and the ones that are not afraid to take on city, or they're not going to do it willingly on their own. So that means I have to do all the work. I feel like a little redhead. So what if yesterday was the 24th and I was off by a day? Well, sometimes a day can make a huge difference. I need to go to the credit union again today to see if the wire transfer was sent yesterday afternoon and was deposited into my account. It doesn't make it. If it doesn't make it today, I'll have to go until Monday with the $30 I have and the $10.96 transferring from the old account to the new one. I called my mom and told her what I think has happened in the last 3 years as far as somebody taking money out of my retirement account by pretending to be me and contacting either my financial advisor or a representative at Fidelity. For the life of me, I couldn't understand how I was going through so much money when I was only paying bills and groceries. The second year, I spent $70,000 to survive. I made a conscious effort to really watch my expenses, but I spent the same amount as the year before. And the third year, the same thing. I've been fucked over so badly by everyone, either trying to get rich or get their way. The scary thing is, it's not even about drugs or a mental illness. Or being gay. It has to do with the technology that was planted on my property that I didn't do. They want to get the technology off it, or better yet, find a buyer for my home. That way, Patty can be responsible for a fifth property of ownership. Her nephew on Como, Arvid coming into the neighborhood, Wade sandwiching me in, and finally, besides her own, the White House on the hill in her front living room view. My neighborhood is nice, but there are a lot of other places within the city that are more exclusive. It is a little oasis, but I'd say Overbrook and the streets on the west side of High Street, across the street from it, would be more desirable and conservative. On the other hand, traditional Leave It to Beaver values seem strongly entrenched in my neighborhood. And for a city burb to be like that is pretty incredible. Maybe most of the neighbors are unaware that I am the nucleus of a powerful cell with walls of steel and eyes of iron. As far as I can tell, the hate of Rem only extends so far. But on the other hand, I am followed and tracked everywhere I go in central Ohio. I have to tell on myself now about something I did, thinking and believing, and it turned out to be false. So instead of being the witness of 2 miracles, it was just one. I shouldn't say just, because witnessing one in a lifetime is the ultimate dream of many. It's in a hole in one as a golfer, except you don't have to have any faith to have one happen. You're also not more likely to experience one if you do have more faith than the next fellow. So why have faith at all? Many would call it wistful thinking, and a few might even be like my friends and calling something something else. Call it a delusion. After all, God is invisible. Just like remote neural monitoring, there's lack of evidence for God. But we know Jesus was real because we have a history of it. He was a real man. And he came here with a message. And what ended up happening to people in his message? They murdered him. So here we are, 2023 years later, after the birth of a man who lived to be 33, put in the grave early. We still have people not choosing the right thing to do. Let me explain the one miracle that I thought happened that didn't. It was receiving the phone in this boat. It just so happened that I had picked up my coat upside down the other day. And when I did, all of the contents went into the sleeve and down to the wrist, inside the lining, exactly where I found the phone. Now, I don't know how it got in there because I was standing up at the time. But I do know how it got in there. I don't think that it was on my possession because it had been gone for at least a day or two. So I know that's how it got into the sleeve. It didn't get into the sleeve with magic or with a miracle. The miracle that did happen was when I was outside Ashley, Ohio. And that is one of the things that is amazing. I threw my phone into the vehicle, and when I got into my car, there it was sitting right in front of the speedometer on the area of the dashboard, just resting there. And I did not put it there. I watched it hit the passenger side door as I threw it into the car from outside. All I know is this: I'm defending God. I'm defending his right to have his creation not altered in any way, to be 100% human, to not be artificially manipulated, because that's not the way to live. God does not intend us to be afraid. God does not want other people talking inside of other people's heads. If he wanted that, he would have given us that ability, and he did not. It's an invasion of privacy. It is rude, and it needs to be stopped because people are abusing it. It's not a surveillance tool. It's a tool to torture. And that's what V2K is. Voice to school technology, the microwave auditory effect, first made possible and successful in 1974. 1974. I was 1 year old. Here I am, 49. I'd never heard of it until I became a Thai, looking for answers. I'd never know to this day what V2K is unless I became one. That's got to change. Because people need to know that this is real. And it's the way that government or military plan to direct your thinking by talking to you in your own head. Is that what you want? Do you want people having conversation inside your head? Now, here's the real tricky part that they plan to do with AI. It's not just them talking. Here's the big mind fuck. It'll be your own voice with their words and ideas. That way, you'll think it's you that came up with the thinking. Isn't that sick? We can't let it be. Donkey, I would absolutely be on for an interview, sir. Make sure that you're checking my Facebook, Rem Milligan, and my journal page, Tier Justice, Equity, and Equality. Just on Facebook. I sent off some things to some lawyers today, and I will be continuing that tonight. I am very concerned about what's going on in Central Ohio because there's a lot of liability out there that's been done, and I'm doing my best to keep myself safe. But I cannot wait for other people to respond when I've asked for help for 5 years. They don't want to respond. They don't want to help. So e-COVID. You might be like, what's e-COVID? E-COVID is real. Because RNM, remote neural monitoring, is COVID. The esophagus will narrow, and it's very difficult to get the phlegm out. And when you are, it's very metallic tasting. So Um, those are the things that happened in 2020 that I experienced. And it came on suddenly. And it cleared up suddenly. And I don't have any allergies. I have no allergies. If you have an actual illness, the flu bug or the cold, it takes time to move through a recovery. It doesn't turn off and on like a switch. This does. I was singing beautifully, I think, last night. I wouldn't be able to do that if I were actually sick. So it's my captors that are turning on this specific frequency to make me cough. And probably to get the neighbors to call. I've got a couple neighbors like that. The ones in front of me and the ones behind me. They're the sick ones. All I'm trying to do is live in peace. And all they do is keep harassing me with NetCare police. It's really frustrating. Anyway, enjoy the entries that you see today. And God bless. Remember, today's the Sabbath. It is God's day today to worship. Doesn't matter that it's not Sunday. It's not supposed to be Sunday. There should be no confusion over this. You understand that, right? Because we know the days of the week and we can count. So to say that, well, we consider the Sabbath this day is just nonsense. That's a lie. I always find it interesting with Easter how the date hops around. Has anybody else had that issue in their head about the resurrection of Christ? The problem I have with it is, well, it doesn't matter. The details. What matters is the day that he died, because or the day that was the day that he rose from the dead. We know that date in that year. And because we know that date, we can celebrate it every year. So why are we celebrating Easter all over March and April? I just don't understand it. Maybe you guys will have an answer for me. Hang in there. I know I'm going to do my best. I really wish that I had more support, because as it stands right now, I am the only one defending God and the Constitution and property rights. The only one. And the rest of the world is just kind of not paying attention. Or if they are paying attention, they're going, it's all a drug issue. Or he's mentally ill. Neither. is the issue. And how can you say drugs aren't the issue? Because it is an issue of privacy. Anybody who is going to make a claim or say something from someone's privacy is not allowed to do that. They're not allowed to make decisions based off of it. And they're not allowed to use it in a court of law. So, why would the executive branch be so very strongly opinionated about maintaining this weapon and tool? If you know that it is illegal, why would you so strongly support it? You got to think. Because if we're going to allow it to continue, that's a lot of liability. And it's imprisoning a lot of wrongfully imprisoned people. It's finding people guilty of things when they're actually innocent and have rights that protect them. So I hope that people begin to understand the gravity of what's going on. Because there's a big push and there's a big propaganda campaign to have a narrative play out. And it's just not reality. The mental illness diagnosis I've been labeled with was given because I was blocked by the police from reporting for 2 years with 6 911 calls that I have a record of. Responding officers refused to create reports of crime. So when the doctors looked at or called the police and said, hey, this guy's complaining of neighborhood harassment. Have there been any reports of crime filed? No. What do you think the doctor is going to think? Everything that's been done has been done by the police. You would think that they have enough on their plate to do than to harass a completely innocent man of crime, doing nothing wrong and nothing illegal. But they focused on me. Whew. Donkey, thank you. I will read your message on Instagram. And I got to say thank you very, very much. I encourage people also to come and see the Ohio Bermuda Triangle that's in my backyard against the fence. It's an open invitation, 434 Midgard Road, Columbus, Ohio, 43202. And when you get back there, you'll see the railing, black, and then it'll stop. And you'll see the triangle. And then you'll see the lattice begin. It's real. I don't know why a portion of the railing is missing, but it's not visible. And when I dip my hand into the path of the triangle, my shadow does not appear. It's pretty serious. And everybody's blowing me off. So I guess I have witnessed 2 miracles. Unless it's black magic or technology. You see, nobody's told me anything. So it could be anything. It's really frustrating. I hope to get answers soon. But I guess that's going to depend on Patty Ryan and whether or not she wants to. I hope it's soon. A vehicle was picking up a young piano student, blonde hair and glasses. I'd say probably about 11 or 12. HET 4646 around 3 p.m., around 3:15 p.m. today. The reason why I document is to look for a pattern of association. I look for this pattern because of the amount of guilt that I know my neighbor has committed. So I've got one who's impersonating me and monitoring everything I do online and my devices. And then I have the one across the street who uses the arm of the police and Netcare to cause hospitalizations. And this is my life. Donkey, I will play for the stream next. Thank you for the idea. In fact, I've been meaning to share some of my compositions, so I think it'll be an excellent opportunity. I want to share with you something that was given to me today, and I think I'm going to put it on the cover of one of the journals. An old man by the name of Tom, who spent 2 years at CCAD, and then found another pursuit to follow, has recently gotten back in touch with his art. And I was journaling today what I just read to you. And after he drew a picture of the stream, and I commented on it as I walked by, I said, "That looks really nice." We talked for a little bit. He told me his story, and he asked if right where I was, I have faith in humanity. A good thing is that live eating. He's probably about 70, 75 right now. And I think that's so wonderful that he got reconnected with his artistic self. You never know the amazing things that people do or the things that they like unless you ask. Don't ever be afraid of somebody else. And don't judge. Because when you judge, you miss out on connecting with that person. Everybody has a lesson for each other. I hope you're ready to hear yours. And I look forward to hearing yours. So, we're going to do a quick little walk-see. Let's see what's down on the first floor. And then oh. Somebody just gave me shit on Facebook, probably for giving the phone number. Oh well. Do what I got this night. Have a good night.